No, I am interested in upgrading the front court. Yeah. I got really sold on this one, but you're just talking to a ton of people around the league because of the fact that he would be a free agent signing.
Because he's objectively really good at basketball, and it would have been silly to not want him before.
Well, that too. No, I think the fact that you can use this.
Vucevic is good.
No, you can use this. What I just said about Drummond. Now, the difference is here. I like Vucevic and I don't like Drummond. But there's also the contract. 3 years.
A little birdie told me this guy's good.
3 years versus 1 year. And actually, like, they wanted this guy last time, didn't they? And then the Magic just paid him more. So this is a chance to sign Vucevic effectively as a free agent, make him your fourth max guy, as they want to do with Hayward, and have that be your core into the future. I think he's the only guy on the market right now that makes sense from that standpoint and is acquirable, because the Magic just lost Cole Anthony now on top of all their other injuries.
They are a mess, huh?
Yeah, they have nothing left.
That team.
Now, what's it going to cost?
So that's what I think. So this is what's interesting. We could debate this all live long day. My favorite thing about playing these trade games is if we had the same amount of people in this chat from Orlando as we did Boston, no matter what we said, both teams would be furious about it. One would think it's not enough, and the other think it's too much.
Marcus Smart's the name I heard.
It's always more than you need. You might have to do Smart. You might have to do – I don't know that you do it for the team. Well, I would think this. What I was saying before, TPE plus take your pick of 2 out of the 3 kids – 4 or 3 out of the 4. It would be Pritchard, Rob, Romeo, Neesmith, all on the table. You probably deal. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm saying it probably requires that. You're probably looking at 2 of those. So I could see Robert and whichever of the other 3 Orlando would want, and then you're looking at a pick or 2.
So let me pretend to be
more than a pick,
right? Do you think?
I'm thinking 3 picks.
I was thinking Rob, 2 picks. Rob, your player of your choice, TPE, and 2 picks.
Yeah, because they're going to get a big.
I'm guessing there.
Yeah.
This could be another situation where you have to pull in the third team to outlet Thompson. I don't know if that would be the Thunder, the Pelicans, or something. One of those teams that has been just racking up picks and will take on anybody. Could Thompson team up with Al Horford there in Oklahoma City and use Oklahoma, who has a ton of picks, to funnel some of those over toward Orlando or New Orleans or something to that effect. I don't know. It's going to be tricky here, but if I'm going to play the Orlando guy and I'm asking for Marcus Smart, less picks, obviously, maybe just 1 first-round pick in that case, and then we'll eat Thompson, allow you to keep Rob, and we'll take on Tice, I guess. So you're left with Vucevic, Rob, and more of your first long term, but you have to give up Marcus Smart. And remember, if you bring on Vucevic, you're probably going to lose Smart when he hits free agency in the future. So that's another consideration here.
I'll tell you what besides what Bobby just told us.
I think they want a big, Bob. I mean, they like Marcus Smart, but you want a big if you're giving up Vucevic.
Besides what we know now that Vucevic is good based on what Bobby's hearing, what else do you know about this guy?
But they have Isaac also, Josue. He's been hurt all year.
He has been hurt.
What I'm saying
He's hurt a lot.
Can you when you talk about listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say Marcus Smart is like the end all be all, but when you talk about trading Marcus Smart, you better make sure you're damn confident in the leaders and like the
that's the thing.
Sort of vibe on your team. But you bring in a guy like Vucevic. Do we know anything about him? Is he an energy guy? Is he is he a team?
He's just really good
about the guy because he's playing in Orlando, and I don't even know if I've ever heard him speak before, to be completely honest. Just because he's in a market that's and on a team that hasn't been good in a while, and he's not a point guard, so he's not like filling up the highlight reels. And
again, guys, that was Orlando's ask. I'm playing the Orlando GM there.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, I understand that he would feel a massive need for them, but you got to be careful with what happens to the DNA of your team. You want to make sure that you don't have a situation like the Celtics did when they traded Perkins for Jeff Green, and everyone thought that was going to be a great trade, but it kind of tore the team apart in a way.
Yeah. So I'm not giving up Smart. even though I think there's a decent case there where if you're going to bring on a max guy, like if we're going to get to Collins after this, I had in that Hawks series, you're going to lose Marcus Smart if you pay John Collins. So whatever the Celtics add, unless they're just patching this up with a Band-Aid with a guy like Harrison Barnes or, someone medium salaried, if you're going big here, full TP on a guy like Vucevic, you're probably losing Smart when he becomes a free agent. So would you give him up proactively, or would you just play out those 2 years with him and just give them everything else? Neesmith, Langford, 3 or 4 first-round picks. Try to funnel in some stuff from a third team, which I think it would require at that point. It'd be really hard to get that deal done, especially if someone else wants Vucevic. But the advantage the Celtics still have is they can eat all that salary without having to match. So it's just, where do you give stuff up to make the pieces work to make Orlando happy there? What I like about him, Jimmy, and I don't know much about him as a individual, Keith Smith would actually know more about that, who covers him down there in Orlando. I know that he kills the Bucks, which is an advantage. He's a really bad matchup for the Bucks. He'd be a monster against the Nets. The Nets don't have any size inside defensively. He shoots the 3 on incredible level, so he'd fit in the system. I just wonder about the defense. And then obviously he's a 7-footer to stand against Embiid. I don't know how good of a defender he is. I think he's just okay. He's a weapon for sure. And I think he makes sense. He's 30. He's probably the best player overall, regardless of position you could get for this, unless you kick the can down the road to get in on the Beal conversation, but that's risky. And even if you have Vucevic here, I think you would rather have something instead of a TPE that you can trade later. So you use that this year, no doubt about it.